All right, there's a new musical on stage at the Bushnell.
It's called Come From Away, and it tells the true story of a small town in Newfoundland that welcomed in 7,000 stranded passengers.
This musical takes a look at how clashing cultures and high tensions turned into enduring friendships. Take a look.
Trying to get close to me? What are you doing?
Listen, I'm going to welcome Becky Gulsvig. No, I'm not thinking of you. I'm thinking of her.
Karen just moved. Becky, it's getting very uncomfortable
She
here.
plays Beverley in the show. I was in the crease. You know how that is.
It's fine.
You know,
Okay.
it's hard to be in the crease.
Good morning.
It's good to see you.
I needed to move over. Anyway, welcome to our show.
Yeah.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
But we want to talk about your show because it's so fascinating. I've been seeing all the promos, but I think a lot of people may not know what Come From Away is, other than it's getting these great reviews. But it actually takes place in that brief period of time after 9/11, when somehow all these stranded passengers ended up in one town in Newfoundland?
Yes. So when they had to clear the airspace after 9/11, planes needed somewhere to land. And 38 planes landed in this teeny town of Gander, Newfoundland, and 7,000 people landed, basically doubled the size of the town. This town took them in. The surrounding towns also took them in, but our story takes place in Gander. And they fed them, clothed them, took care of them for 5 days, and then sent them on their way. And it's an amazing story of the amount of kindness and caring that can come out of something so horrible.
So absolutely so horrible. And are these, from what I understand, the relationships are still intact today.
Yeah.
Many of these people still have close connections with the people in Newfoundland.
It's really quite extraordinary, and this show has actually brought people out of the woodwork and said, oh, I was there, and then they reconnect with people, and taking it around the country has been really, really special because we've met a lot of people, and a lot of, like, we met someone in Vancouver who was a kid in Gander and came to see the show, and she said, I know all those people.
Isn't that amazing?
And you can just see, like, there's just so many feelings that are still there for people, whether or not you were in New York or somewhere else or on a plane. 9/11 still holds a lot of weight, and so to be able to sort of offer a healing sort of experience and such a positive side of that day and that time is really meaningful, and also to teach the younger generation about not only what happened, but also what can come out of such tragedy is really important.
We always say look for the helpers. Tell us about your role in the play.
So we all play multiple roles. There's 12 of us on stage, and we change hats, coats, vests, all kinds of different things to pop in and out of different characters. But we each have a couple main roles, and one of mine is a school teacher, and the one I play the most is Beverley Bass, who was the first female American Airlines pilot in history. Wow. And she is an extraordinary woman. And she was one of the captains who landed there on that day.
So truthfully, she was one of the 38?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think actually we have a little bit of your performance, so let's take a look.
American Airlines had the prettiest planes, so I applied as a flight engineer. But the World War II pilots, they all complained. They said girls shouldn't be in the cockpit. Hey lady, hey baby, hey, why don't you grab us a drink? And the flight attendants weren't my friends back then, and they said, are you better than us, do you think? But I kept getting hired, and the World War II crew, they retired, and the girls all thought much higher of me. 1986, the first female American captain in history. Suddenly I'm in the cockpit.
Oh, that's awesome. Did you actually meet her or research her?
Yes, both, but mostly I know her now, which is really cool. She has friends coming to the show all the time. She's been to the show multiple times. She's so kind and wonderful and so supportive. It's really neat.
The show has many tentacles. It goes off on different little side stories.
And they're real people. So they're out there. They come to the show. They have friends and family seeing the show. It's really neat.
And I know you saw the show from the audience perspective before you were in it.
Yeah,
What is it like to be in a show that I just think that's amazing.
It is.
It's surreal almost.
It is. I still feel like just as much a fan of the show as I am a part of it, which makes it even more special to be a part of it. I remember what it feels like to have that Bowron, that drum start at the top of the show, and you are sucked in, and all of a sudden it's done, and your heart is so full you have to leap to your feet, and you leave feeling so inspired, and it's such a roller coaster of emotions. There's definitely, we touch on the sadness, but there's a lot of humor in this story, which you don't expect. And ultimately a lot of joy, and you just leave feeling so uplifted. And it was so nice to walk into a show knowing how I felt watching it, and knowing that for me it was such a gift. And my husband's Canadian, so there's just a little extra. He's not from Newfoundland, but still, to know that we were spreading such an uplifting message and to take it around the country has really been extraordinary.
Oh, that's fantastic.
We're
well,
happy
one of my coworkers said he said it was one of the best shows he's ever seen at the Bushnell. So congratulations.
Oh well, I can't take any credit. I get to deliver it.
You take 1/12 of that credit.
All right.
Or 2/12 of that credit. You play multiple roles.
All good. All good.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, again. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Come From Away is on stage at the Bushnell until Sunday, May 5th. Head to bushnell.org for tickets and showtimes.